In this video, we'll learn how XPath works. XPath is key to easily learn web scraping with Selenium and Scrapy. So let's start. XPath stands for XML Path Language. XPath is a query language for selecting nodes from an XML document, but we can also use it to select elements from HTML pages. Another way to select elements from websites is using CSS selectors. CSS stands for Cascadian Style Sheet. So it's a language that was mainly created to style HTML web pages. CSS and XPath have some similarities in their syntax. However, in this course, we'll mainly see how to select elements with XPath because of its simplicity. Now, let's review the XPath syntax. With XPath, we can select an element by using the double slash, and then we write the element name. This is the most basic way to locate an element or node. For example, if you want to select all the h1 elements in an HTML page, we do double slash h1. This double slash is a special character in XPath that means pick a matching node that is located at any level within the XML document. We're going to see the meaning of this and other special characters in detail in the next video. Now we can select an element based on its position by using the square brackets. Let's imagine that there are two h1 tags in the page. You will pick the first writing the XPath expression double slash h1 plus 1 inside square brackets, and you will pick the second h1 tag with double slash h1 and the number 2 inside square brackets. Now we can also specify the attributes, adding square brackets and writing inside the attribute name. This is the standard version of an XPath. It starts with double slash followed by the tag name, square brackets, the @ sign, and the attribute name like class, ID, and so on. Then we write the equal sign, then quotation marks, and inside the quotation marks, the attribute value. This is how we build an average XPath expression. We can also use some functions to find specific values. For example, the starts with function will search for text at the beginning, while the contain function will search for text included inside an element. In this example, I included the contains function inside the XPath expression. So, as you can see, we have to include parentheses to wrap the attribute name and attribute value. We also have to use the comma to separate the attribute name and attribute value instead of the equal sign. You can also use the AND or logical operators with XPath expressions. They should be placed inside the square brackets, and every time you use operators, include a parenthesis for each XPath expression. We'll see how functions and operators work in action using a small HTML code in the next video.